Good morning all of you. Today we are going to discuss the chapter lesson number 14, sources of energy. This is the first chapter in physics portion. So, sources of energy. Before going to the chapter, first we will discuss what is an energy. From 6th standard onwards, you are using this word energy, and I know that all of you know about this energy. So, what is energy? Yes, the ability to do work is known as energy. So, this is the definition for energy. And one more thing, we learned one law in 9th standard, that is law of conservation of energy. What is law of conservation of energy? That is, the energy can neither be created nor be destroyed. It can be converted from one form to another. That is the law of conservation of energy. But from this law we come to know that the energy can't be destroyed, it can be converted from one form to another. But still we are hearing the word that energy crisis. Then why this is going to heard this about this energy crisis? Because actually the energy that is dissipating, that means once it is using means that we can't use it again. Suppose you just take the example of fossil fuels. We are using daily these fossil fuels, it is dissipating to the surroundings that we can't use it again. So, we have to know about the different sources of energy and we have to utilize it wisely. So, first we will see what is when we will say a source of energy is a good source of energy. When a source of energy is it is a good source of energy. Suppose I am having a gas burner that we are using this cylinder for cooking food, that is a source of energy, and another one, suppose we are having the wood, that is also we are using to cook the food, but we should know which one is the good source of energy. The first point is that it should have high calorific value. What do you mean by high calorific value? Calorific value means the amount of heat energy produced per unit mass. Simply, we have to get high energy when we are burning that a source of energy, that is mean by high calorific value. So, the source should have high calorific value, then only we will tell that that source is a good source of energy. The second one is that obviously it should be easily available, that source of energy should be easily available, and the third one is cheap. It should be economical or it should be cheap, and it should be easy to transport. It should be easy to transport from one place to another. And the last one is environmental friendly, because now we are hearing this word that pollution everywhere. So, fossil fuels we are using, it is creating lot of pollution. So, it should be environmental friendly. I will repeat the points again. Actually, this is an important question, 2 marks question. Normally, it is asking in board paper also, when a source of energy should be a good source of energy. The first point is that it should have high calorific value. High calorific value means it should produce enough amount of heat energy when it is burning. And the second one is it should be easily available, and the third one is it should be cheap and easy to transport. The last point is it should be environmental friendly. Okay. The sources of energy can be converted into divided into two types, that is conventional sources of energy and non-conventional sources of energy. First, we will discuss about the conventional sources of energy, then we will go to the non-conventional sources of energy. The first one is conventional sources of energy. Conventional sources of energy means the energy that we are using from ancient times, that is the traditional one, that is known as conventional sources of energy. In that one, the first one is fossil fuels. In conventional sources of energy, the first one is fossil fuels. Already you learned about the fossil fuels, you know that the fossil fuels, it will take millions of years to form the fossil fuels. Some of the examples for fuels are, you know that coal, petroleum products, etc. are some of the examples for this fossil fuels. It is non-renewable energy. Non-renewable energy means we can't take it again. That means it will not reform again. It is not not renewable, that is non-renewable sources of energy, because it will take millions of years to form. The advantages of using these fossil fuels are, it is producing high energy, that means it is producing high heat energy, that is one of the advantage of these fossil fuels. But there are some of the disadvantages of these fossil fuels also. Already I told you that that is the non-renewable sources of energy. And the second disadvantage is that it is creating so much pollution. You heard about this global warming and everything. So, it is creating lot of pollution. When you burn these fossil fuels, the oxides, sulfates and everything are producing, and due to that the pollutions are occurring. It will cause to the environmental pollution. Next we are going to the next one, that means thermal power plant. In thermal power plants, what we are doing is, here you are using the fossil fuels. This is fossil fuel coal. Then you are heating this fossil fuel. Already I told you that it will produce lot of energy. When you heat this coal, it will produce lot of energy. Here, this is boiler. In this boiler, water is there. Here we are taking the fossil fuels and you are heating these fossil fuels. It will produce lot of energy. Due to this energy, this water in the boiler will start boiling. So, that is why the name of this is boiler, because water is there and it will start boiling. That is why this is the boiler. And here this is the turbine. So, steam will come out through this pipe and this steam will make the turbine to rotate. Again here generator will be the generator is there, the shaft associated with the generator will start rotating and the electricity is produced here. I will explain one more thing. This is the thermal power plant. In thermal power plant, what they are doing is, here the fossil fuels we are taking, that is the coal we are taking, and we are heating this coal. Due to the heat produced by this water in this boiler start boiling and the steam will come out through this pipe and the steam will make the turbine to rotate. This is the turbine, and due to the rotation of the turbine, the shaft associated with the generator will start rotating and the electricity will be produced. This is the working of the thermal power plants. When we are considering thermal power plant or hydro power plant, anything, the major function happening here, that is this one. This is the main, this is common in every power plant. That means there should be a source of power. There should be a source of power. This is the source of power here. That means steam produced due to the boiling water. This is the source of power. Due to this, the turbine will start rotating. Due to the rotation of this turbine, what will happen? The shaft associated with the generator will start rotating and the electricity will be produced. Next, we are going to discuss about the hydro power plants. Hydro power plants means we are storing water in dams. Here you can see the dams here. In dams we are storing the water. The stored water, it is having the potential energy. Already you have learned in 9th standard that stored water, it will have the potential energy. Here you can see this one, that when you open the gates of these dams, what will happen? The water will come with full force. That is, here the potential energy of water will convert into the kinetic energy. Potential energy will convert into the kinetic energy. So again, the previously we have discussed in thermal power plant, the same is happening here. The down you can see the turbine. due to the force of this water, the turbine will start rotating. Due to that, the shaft associated with the generator will rotate and the electricity is produced here. The same is happening here in hydropower plant also. Because I already told you that the power source of power should be there. Here, there in thermal power plant, the steam was the source of power. Here in hydropower plant, the source of power is the water. That means the stored water. Here you can see the stored water. The potential energy of this stored water, when it's converting into the kinetic energy. Due to this, the turbine will start rotating and the shaft associated with that generator will start rotating and the electricity is produced here. This is why how the hydropower plants are working. And now we will discuss the advantages of this hydropower plant. Already I told you that this one is eco-friendly. This hydropower plant is eco-friendly, that is due to this hydropower plant environmental pollution is not happening here. But some of the disadvantages are also there for this hydropower plant, that because that large amount of area is necessary for this hydropower plants. Due to this water is storing in dams, so the ecosystem, the submerged in this water, and it will affect the ecosystem of that place. Due to when we are constructing dams or anything, it will affect the ecosystem of that place. The next disadvantage is that this one is that it will affect flood or drought. Already in Kerala it has happened, because due to rainy season they opened the dams because of the overfilling of these dams and the flood has happened. So 2 or 3 dams they opened at that time. So due to this the flood has become more severe. So this is the some of the disadvantages of this hydropower plants. I hope all of you understood all these topics. Next topics I will explain in the another part. Thank you.